Hi, Philosophy and English friends. This is Penny Manager, and I'm here today with Father Wojciech Grygiel from the Fraternity of St. Peter. Father Grygiel, our philosophy friends on Facebook have had a few questions since your open lecture, and I wondered if you could talk with us today a little bit about yourself.
Oh, with pleasure.
Now, I know you did graduate from the United States, and your academic background is extensive, but could you give us a little summary of it?
Well, it can take a minute, but altogether I spent 20 years in college. And what's probably most important is that in the year 1997, I graduated from the Binghamton University in the United States with a Ph.D. in chemistry, and then in 2007 I received a Ph.D. in philosophy here from the University of John Paul II in Kraków.
20 years in school, that's a little bit longer than I'm hoping to do. But Father, you discussed chemistry, you've talked about philosophy. What do you teach at the Pontifical University?
Well, I mostly concentrate on courses in, let's say, in a broad spectrum of philosophy of nature. But within this, comes all kinds of issues associated with science. So we teach philosophy of nature, but then we will teach cognitive science, we will teach philosophy of science, we will teach philosophy of mathematics. So a variety of courses which focus on how we can use science, or how we can better understand science, and our main goal is to see if we can see any philosophical issues that are present in science.
Why is philosophy important for science?
Well, that's a big question. I think this is the question which has been pondered by many, and there's different approaches to this. I mean, our basic approach, which is quite unique, I would say, in the whole milieu of philosophy, is that we are not assuming any systematic philosophy, but we're trying to, as we do science, because many of us are scientists, for instance myself, as we do science, we are trying to see if it leads us to some old philosophical problems. And it turns out that it does. I mean, as you do science and you think of science as a whole, what kind of bigger questions it raises, you see easily that it leads you to many of the questions that were already asked by a whole array of philosophers. So we believe that as we do science, we can meet important philosophical problems on our way.
We like to solve problems at the Pontifical University, and we look forward to many of our students coming and joining us to help us solve these problems. Which brings me to another question, Father. Why do you like Kraków? Why would you suggest students come study in Kraków?
Well, Kraków is very much of a historical city with beautiful architecture, beautiful churches, and if someone is especially interested in history of Europe, history of Christianity, there's all kinds of interesting places here to see and really experience the history as it happened. Because you can come here and visit, for instance, the tombs of the kings, because Kraków used to be a capital of Poland. So in that way, your experience of the history is not only just the book, but you can come and see what these people left behind and what is really the legacy, which is kind of still very vivid here.
Guys, that's what we're inviting you to do. We're inviting you to come to Kraków, study with us, and get to live in the city of saints and philosophers. Father Grygiel, thank you so much for coming today. And philosophy friends, make sure you follow us on Facebook, because Father Grygiel's got some fun stuff coming up in January that he wants to discuss with us, mainly about philosophy of science and how we can understand it, which is actually kind of good because I need to study for his course.
Well, thank you very much for your time and invitation.
Thank you very much, Father, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.